What's up, YouTube? It's your boy GSG Shots bringing you guys some new settings for MW3. As always, you know your boy always got you guys with the settings every single year, and this year is no different. Your boy got you, okay? So we're gonna start off today with the display settings. It's not really too much on here, same stuff, different year. Low latency, you need this on, not boost. Unless you are on like a laptop, then I guess you could do boost, but for everybody generally just put it on. Make sure you guys got VSync off, the dynamic range off, and this focus mode, put this on 0 unless you are on like a ultra wide monitor or something like that. Then you would want to change it. I'm not exactly sure what you would want to change it to. I guess you would just put it on what works for your monitor, because it says that it puts a black overlay around the game window, so I guess it's to help make the screen space smaller for you guys on the ultra wides. But yeah, just put this on 0 for general. Now we moving over to quality. As always, put your render resolution on 100, that dynamic resolution off. Upscaling, as usual, we got the fidelity cast. I have it on 100%. I would do 90 to 100%. Scrolling on down here, VRAM scale target, have that on 90. The variable rate shading, have that off. And then I'm just going to scroll down. Make sure you guys take a screenshot. Do whatever you got to do to get these settings locked in here. Feel free to pause the video. These are the best settings I have found so far in MW3. The game feels nice, got great FPS, and you can see stuff pretty clearly. So it's not really a hit to performance or visual quality. I don't think there was anything important in here per se. Yeah, everything is pretty much the same as MW3. And I run on a 120 field of view. Field of view is preference, but I always recommend having it on 120. ADS field of view, have that on affected weapon. Field of view wide. I read third person. We know we ain't played third person in forever. Motion blur off for both of them. Film grain, have that on 0. Camera movement, both of these 0, but like I said, third person, we haven't played that in forever. Now, the inverted flashbang is either you want your screen to flash white or go dark. I personally prefer the white, because when my screen goes dark, it confuses me and makes me think my whole damn setup then crashed on me, and I just do not like it. Throws me off every time, even after like I've had it on for a little bit. So if you don't want to be blinded by the white light of a flashbang, definitely make sure you guys put this on off, or yeah, on. And if you want the white flash, put it on off. Now moving over to audio, I have mine set to home theater. Scrolling on down here, I personally have the last word voice chat turned off, because I don't want nobody to hear my comms after I done raved or something after they killed me somehow. So I definitely got that turned off. Make sure you got proc chat on, so at least you know where the enemies are, even if you're not talking in game chat. But yeah, that's about as far as it goes for that. The reduced tetanus is probably the one slept on thing in here. So if you want to save your hearing for when you become very old and you don't want to be like all day, definitely turn this on, because it reduces those loud concussion and flashbang sounds, and helps preserve our hearing a little bit more. Moving over to interface, not too much here. You can customize your colors. I always tend to make my enemy color, either change it or just make it very dark or saturated, but it's personal preference on that. But for me at least, I always make the enemy's color try to stand out a little bit more. Make sure your mini map is on square as always, and the rotation and horizontal compass, have both of those on. Crosshairs on as always, but you can choose what size you want. If you want a default, larger, or largest. I personally prefer larger because larges sometimes can make it just a little bit too big when you're trying to make those far like shots and you need to make like a headshot. So I would just put it on larger. Um, for a full name or for player names, I always put it um on abbreviated just so I don't have this, big name just on the top of their head, and sometimes it can throw you off a little bit. Could just go with icon only, which would be pretty nice in a lot of cases, but I would recommend go with abbreviated or icon only. Scrolling on down here to telemetry, I think that's how you pronounce that. No, hold on, there it is. I always have FPS counter on, server latency, and packet loss. These are, to me, the three most important things. You want to make sure your FPS is high, make sure you're not having a crazy high ping, and make sure you're not dropping frame, or not dropping frames, losing packets because of network issues. So make sure these are the most important three things that you guys need to have on. You could have, sorry, where'd it go? Right here. You could have both of these on. If you tend to have a lot of networking issues, it'll tell you exactly like what is causing the issues as you see right here. But that pretty much does it for the interface. You can always have skip introduction movie just so you can load up the game faster, but other than that, that's pretty much it for that part. All right, now for controller settings, your boy got you with the best controller settings here. I am not a keyboard and mouse player, so I will not have the best settings for that, but as far as the controller, I got you. Okay, scrolling on down here, make sure you have controller vibration off. You do not need that extra vibration when you're trying to shoot straight. We do not need that. Okay. Trigger effect, make sure you got this on off. You don't want the haptic feedbacks, more so like PlayStation controllers. They got a lot of stuff going on with the controllers, so make sure you got that turned off. You don't need anything affecting your shot. Dead zone inputs. Now on MW3 they have added a stick dead zone tester, so if you have thumbstick drift, this will be able to tell you if you're having a lot of thumbstick drift and exactly where you should put your minimum and maximums so that you're not having that thumbstick drift, which is a absolutely amazing feature that I'm so glad they put in here, because I've had thumbstick drift issues as much as anybody has ever had in this game. So yeah, definitely test this out on your controller. You want to have the minimum on the left and right stick as low as you possibly can have it until that thumbstick drift goes away. I'll do a little test right here. So when I move my right stick, it should always go back to the center. No matter how much you move it, it should always go back to the center, and the horizontal and vertical axis on both sticks should be at 0. You can move the controller around a little bit, play with it as much as you want to, but at the end your stick should be centered and both of those axes should be on 0. But besides that, sorry about that, that should do it for that part. Now we're going to move over to aiming. My personal preference for sensitivity on MW3 is 6.6. Now I would do between 5.5 and 6.6. It just, your preference is always. And ADS multiplier, preference is always, but I would recommend around 0.80 to 0.90 for most players. That just feels like the most comfortable area. It's not, too much extra movement. It's real smooth and precise, so definitely try that out. Going on down here, aim response curve as usual is on a dynamic, and the aim assist type is at default. You can try the other one, but I've always preferred to have it on default. If anything, you might want to try out Black Ops, because I know a lot of people like that one that don't so much like default, but default is always going to be for the win. Okay, always put it on default. But besides that, that looks like everything for this part. Moving over to gameplay, have it on auto tac sprint for the win. Tac sprint behavior, have it on single tap run. Definitely make sure you have auto move forward off, because we don't need that. Ground mantle off, airborne mantle off, and this one right here, have that off. Now there is a new option this year for the slide and dive behavior. You can have it on tap to slide, tap to dive, slide only, and dive only. If you have it on slide only, it'll make it feel so it's like Warzone 1 or like MW219. So it removes that little delay that people were complaining about in the beta. So slide only or tap to dive would be the recommended choices. If you want to still be able to dive, have it on tap to slide. If not, have it on slide only. I'm scrolling on down here. This setting, I do not like the parachute auto deploy, so I'm going to turn this off. And with this one right here, it'll auto deploy it, I guess, as soon as you jump out the plane. So if you want that, you could do that, but I recommend to have it on off. Let's see here. Slide canceling, slide cancel sprint. Make sure you guys have that on. And the ledge climbing behavior, make sure you have that on movement based. Going on down here. Make sure your interact and reload is set to prioritize interact. It's basically making it quicker. You can just tap to do it, tap to interact with stuff like picking up ground loot, or you could tap and reload if you need it to. But just make sure you're not trying to reload when you're hovering directly over something, because that can definitely throw you off a little bit. Armor plate behavior, make sure you have this on apply all. The tack stance is a new feature that we have this year. I personally don't really like the tack stance, I guess because I'm just not so used to it yet. But you can change which way you want it to activate. I'm not really sure which one is the best one. I guess it'll be personal preference. But for now, for me, I'm gonna have the tack stance activation on off, so I don't have to deal with the tack stance feature for right now. Scrolling down here, make sure you have the quick C4 detonation on 1x1, because I know I kept having the issue of not being able to blow up C4s, and I was like, why the heck is this thing not blowing up when I throw them? And these two were the issue. So make sure you have it on press, and make sure you have this on 1x1, so you're not don't have to throw both C4s to blow just to blow one of them up. But scrolling on down here, I think that just about does it for that section. And I think that's going to complete the settings video for you guys this year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys hit that sub button, leave a like, and turn those notifications on. And in the comments, if you would, leave a comment. Let me know if this video helped you out. And I would definitely appreciate all the support in my streams and on my shorts. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do for me. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much, and GG.